Hey fellow traders, I'm back with another market outlook video. So in this video, I'm going to give you the key levels that you should focus on as you go into the new trading week. Now, I'll be going through the following currency pairs as you can see over here. I'll walk you through each of them and show you the key levels as well as the buyers. Now, as always, I'll be using the MPE trading strategy, which you can actually download the PDF in the description down below. So if you're new to this channel, we use the MPE trading strategy to analyze our market outlook every single week. So if you have not gotten that, I will leave a link in the description down below. Just go grab it. It's free. So M stands for market condition, P stands for price level, and E stands for entry. And we are going to apply this in the Forex market outlook that I'm going to do shortly. So just go grab it. This is the website. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Okay, so let's jump straight into the economic calendar for the week. So today, right now, it's 28th of March and it's a Sunday. So I'm recording this video on Sunday to give you the levels so that you can trade these levels during the new week ahead, which is the 29th of March. As you can see from the screen right here, there's going to be a lot of bank holidays next week. You have this Friday, a lot of bank holidays, and Monday to Wednesday is pretty much there's nothing. And on Friday, we also have the NFP, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate. So again, this week I don't expect there to be much movement, and we also have NFP, which means that market is probably going to be very whippy. So the entire month of March has been very difficult to trade. If you are part of our Telegram channel, you will know that we have been warning you that this month is very difficult to trade again and again. In fact, in the previous market outlook video, we said that, do expect it to be very whippy and please be patient. So same thing for this week or so, because you have bank holidays and you don't have much news over here. Actually, if you were to look at the other kind of news, which is the medium impact, you probably see something more. But most of the time, we just focus on the high impact news, which is a red one. And during NFP week, most of the time, market is very whippy, and we like to trade fake outs during such weeks. So with that being said, let's go into the charts and let's look at DXY. DXY stands for dollar index, and it tells us the direction of USD. So last week, we talked about USD being potentially bullish, and true enough, it was bullish, except that there was a level of resistance here. So I believe that I caution that if you want to be buying dollar, just be very cautious of this level because you are buying into resistance. But last week on Thursday, this is Friday, this is Thursday. So on Wednesday, price actually broke above the resistance. So that's good. And this means that a dollar is definitely bullish in the at least in the short term. And you can also see that the structure is bullish. So if we were to apply our MP trading strategy right here, market condition, we have an uptrend because you have a high here, you have a low here, and then you have a higher high, higher low, higher high. So market condition is bullish. Key level that we'll be looking at to potentially buy would be this zone over here, this entire zone. Okay, again, you may not trade directly in the DXY because DXY is just the currency index. Many of you do not have access to DXY. Personally, I do not trade DXY, but it tells us the direction of dollar. So you will know what to do with currency pairs like Euro dollar, Pound dollar, Aussie dollar, if you know the direction of DXY. Okay, so how did I get this zone? If you just look back historically, you can see that this entire zone over here, let me just extend it out. If you extend it this way, you can see that this is actually a very strong zone. And of course, this is the recent high. So you should definitely expect this to be coming in as some form of support. Okay, so right now, price is in the middle of nowhere. So please do not chase the market. Just let the price drop down to this key zone. Wait for a bullish price action pattern, such as the engulfing pattern. Okay, all this is covered in this day trading guide. Let me show you. Okay, all these kind of patterns like hammer, shooting star, bullish engulfing. So I'll just wait, be patient, wait for it over here, and just take the trade. If you want to trade DXY, just wait for it come down and go back up. So that's it for DXY. Let's talk about Euro dollar. Now, Euro dollar has been long term is in an uptrend. You have a high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, but the intermediate trend, it's more of a downtrend because you have a high here, okay, then let me try this. You have a low here, you have a lower high, and then you have a lower low. Okay, and right now price is in a support. Okay, I don't really recommend trading euro dollar because the trend right here is down, but it's at support. Okay, if you just focus on the recent price movement, price actually in a downtrend because of the lower high and lower low. Okay, so now it's at support. Now I don't recommend going counter trend and just buying just because price is at support, and this over here is a resistance. So personally, I see two potential setups. You either wait for a price to retrace here and then look for a engulfing pattern or some form of price action pattern, and then you short it back down. Or if I were to go bullish, then I will wait for price to do something like this and come back down here with a inverted head and shoulder. So let me just show it to you. Okay, this would be the left shoulder. Okay, this would be a left shoulder. This would be the head, and this would be the right shoulder if this would happen. Now, this is my preferred way to trade the bullish side because the long-term trend is still up, and this will be a very nice pattern because price would have broken this resistance and come back test as support, and you have confluence with the left shoulder. So this would be my favorite way to trade it, but of course, price might very well just be resisted here and start trending downwards. Okay, so just take note of these key levels. Now, pound dollar, very similar to euro dollar. So long-term uptrend, but right here you see the same thing. You see a low here, you see a high here, and there's a high here. So this is a lower high. Let me just plot it out so that's clearer. So this is a high, this is a low, okay, and this is a lower high, and of course this is a lower low. Okay, so short-term wise, it's bearish. Same thing, it's the same exact setup. You have a form of resistance over here. Okay, if you can't see that this is kind of like resistance, just switch over to the line chart and you can see that there's actually a swing low here, and there's also a swing low over here, and this swing high here. Okay, so this is a quick tip for you. So price is at support as given by this entire zone over here. So before price broke out, this was acting as resistance, and when price broke out, it resulted in a very big move up. So this is a strong level, and price might potentially go up something like this and do something like this. Okay, very same setup with the euro dollar. Okay, very similar. You might do something like this, I don't know, but ideally I would love for it to come up here. Okay, retrace down, and then I look for a buy. Okay, this is my favorite way of trading a pound dollar. Okay, because it's with the trend and there's a lot of confluence. And if you can get a form of some form of trend line at the retest as well, then that would be the best kind of setup. Okay, so try to lean towards the bullish setup for this one. Now, dollar franc. Okay, dollar franc is the opposite of euro dollar. And last week I talked about this as well. So these were the levels that I plotted last week, as well as the prediction. So what happened was that, true enough, this level acted as some form of resistance. Okay, you can see that there was a nice engulfing pattern here. Okay, but price didn't test the low that I expected it to test right here. Okay, and you get a very nice bullish engulfing pattern. And right now, price has just closed above the upper resistance of 0.93779. Okay, so again, this is a bullish trend because you have a high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, so if you stick to the MPE trading strategy, which you should if you are still struggling, then you want to be looking to buy only. So the next thing that we need is that we need a price action. We need a key level first. Key level before the price action trigger. So right here we have 0.93779, and this level is actually driven by the previous low here, this low over here. And if you zoom out further, okay, perhaps it's too far. I think let's just focus on this. Okay, so you can see that this is the most recent level. So this is a strong level. But more importantly, this level was also the recent swing high. Okay, so just let me delete this so that it's clearer. So right now, price on Thursday just closed above it. And this candle is kind of like a shooting star or like a doji. So I don't really like this candle currently. Okay, so what I would like to see ideally is I'd like to see perhaps maybe an engulfing pattern of this level. And then I'll take the trade and go for the upside of towards the next level right here. Okay, so how did I get the next level? 0.9521 is just over here. Let me show it to you. It's just over here. Okay, this was the range bound. This was a range bound market, and this was a low, and this was of course the high. And if you look here, this is also an important level. So there's quite some space. If you can get in a trade at something like this, let's say the engulfing pattern comes in, and by the time the candle closes, it's something like this, and you have your stop loss maybe something like this, and then you take profit. You still get a very nice risk to reward of 1:1.83. Okay, so just be patient. Please do not jump in on Monday because, as I said, I don't really like this shooting star. So just wait for a nicer price action candlestick confirmation pattern first before taking the trade. Okay, but dollar franc is definitely bullish, and dollar franc is something that I would recommend you to focus on because it's a very clear trade. It's a very clear uptrend. Okay, euro dollar, pound dollar, it's going counter trend and it's not so clear. So if I have to stick to a currency that I will focus on, it will be the dollar franc. Now Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is in a range bound. Okay, you can see that there is the left shoulder here. You have the head and you have the right shoulder here, and of course this is the swing low. So if you draw it, the head and shoulder pattern, it comes up, it comes down, comes up, comes down. So this level is very important. In fact, you can draw the neckline something like this also, which is kind of broken. But I do not know whether this level will act as resistance or not. Okay, we need to see. But one thing is for sure is that this level is holding. Okay, you have a very nice bullish engulfing pattern. Okay, I would not recommend trading this for this reason because I do not know whether this trend line will hold as resistance or not. And if let's say you buy right here, you could just be buying into resistance. Long term is still uptrend. You have a high, you have a low, higher high, higher low. But this is kind of like a reversal pattern. So if not for this trend line, then I would have considered just buying at the low of the range and trying to sell at the here or over here. Okay, but these are the key levels that I would focus on. Okay, I won't necessarily trade Aussie dollar, but I just want to bring to your attention this trend line, this level over here, which is 0.7705, which was acting as support. Previously, it was kind of like inverted head and shoulder. Let me show it to you. Left shoulder, head, and right shoulder right here. Okay, and so this will definitely be a level, and this is of course a very strong level. So these are the three levels. Okay, I will not focus on trading this, but these are the three key levels that you should know if you want to trade on your own. Now, dollar Kiwi or Kiwi dollar, sorry, it should be Kiwi dollar, not Kiwi dollar, not dollar Kiwi. Okay, let me just delete all this so that it's clearer. So previously I recommended not to trade Kiwi dollar because it was very messy. You saw all the things that I drew, and you saw this trend line which ended up being valid. That's why it's very important that you watch this kind of market outlook video because chances are many of you would not have known of this trend line and probably would have bought somewhere here, buying into resistance. So I would have saved you some money if you had watched this and taken note of these levels. Now, price has broken down of this strong support, which is very good because it gives us a very clear bias, right? Right now, you have a high, you have a low, you have a lower high, and you have a lower low. So very clear downtrend, and this has been a very strong support. So I expect this to be a strong resistance as well. So just wait patiently for price to come up, to retrace up, then look for a price action candlestick pattern, and then you short it down. Okay. Remember, we are sticking to the MPE trading strategy. So M stands for market condition. So market condition is bearish. P stands for price level, which is over here. Okay. And lastly, price action trigger, which of course at this moment in time we do not know because price hasn't retraced here. So it could be engulfing pattern, it could be a shooting star. Okay, one of this. Just wait for it, take the trade, and just short it down. So these are the key levels. So let's move on to dollar CAD. Now, dollar CAD has been trending down. I like trading dollar CAD because it's down, but the recent price movement has been very whippy. So if you were to look into each of these candles, you can see that the wicks are very long. Like for example, right here you have a very long lower wick, then you have a very long upper wick, very long upper wick. long upper wick, long lower wick. So it's very difficult to trade. But the reason why I like trading dollar CAD right now is because it's still in a very clear downtrend. So let me just show you very quickly. This is a low, this is a high, this is a lower low, this is a lower high, and then there's one more lower low here. So it's still a very clear downtrend. And right now, price is at resistance. So if you look left, you will see that there is some form of support here, and there's support here, and support here. So price is at a very strong level right now. Okay. Now the issue is that there's actually a support level coming in here. So the problem with the current setup right now is that if you were to short here, and you say you put your take profit your stop loss just above here, and your take profit right here, your risk to reward is terrible. Okay, so please do not chase a market, right? Do not take setups like this, even though it's very clear, because the risk to reward just don't make sense. So if I could, I would prefer to wait for price to perhaps retrace a bit higher, try to get in a trade with a tighter stop loss, and then target this support level, which is actually the left shoulder hit, and a potential right shoulder if price were to come down. Okay, so again, please be very careful about your risk to reward. Ideally, you want to take a trade that has a risk to reward of 1:1.5. Okay, not trades like this of 1 is to like 0.8, meaning that when you risk 100 pips, you only make 80 pips. Okay, this is not a good way to trade. So just be very careful. But these are the two key levels that I'm looking at for this currency pair. Now let's talk about dollar yen. Dollar yen is similar to dollar franc. It's very clear, and these are the kind of trades that I would like to trade. Okay, it's very simple to trade, and you just need to stick with the trend. Okay, look at the pattern. It's a very clear uptrend. Your market condition is bullish. You have a high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and so on and so forth. Now, the problem is that right now, price is very close to resistance. If you were to look to the left, this was a very strong level where a price got rejected quickly and it started selling off. So right now, at 109.669, if you were to be buying, right now, you're actually buying to resistance. So please do not buy. Please be patient and wait for the price to retrace down. So there's actually this level which could potentially be a support. But the reason why I didn't draw this level out is because, let's say even if you get a setup somewhere here, your profit is going to be very little because the resistance is very close. So again, there's not much meat left in the market. So I would prefer not to look at this level at all and try to wait for price to retrace lower. Okay, maybe something like more like this horizontal level, which has a confluence with a trend line. Okay, so ideally, I would prefer price to retrace so that at least even if there is this level here, by the time price comes to this level, I can easily decide to take some profit, or I can shift my stop loss to break even. Okay, so something like this. Sorry, this is the wrong one. Something like this, I can take some profits off the table first, or I can shift the break even and gun for this take profit level. Okay, so this is how I would trade it. I won't necessarily look for a buy off this level. But again, this is the kind of setup that you want to focus on because it's very simple and it's very straightforward. It's just like the dollar franc trade. So please try to stick to this dollar franc and dollar yen. These are the two pairs which I recommend focusing on next week. Now back to gold. Gold, nothing much to update about because it's still in consolidation. Okay, this intermediate trend, long-term trend is still up for sure. You can see the grand picture. The big picture is still up. But right here, you have a very nasty consolidation. And right now, price is still retracing higher and potentially, retrace here for a short down. Okay, potentially. But what is worth noting is also that there are two very strong levels right here. So you have this 1719 and 1700, which is a round digit level. So this level is strong. This level is strong. And in the short term, you have a high, you have a low, and you have a higher high. And this is looking like a higher low. Okay, so if you are more advanced as a trader, it's possible to consider a trade opportunity around this level and target this level. Okay, but again, this is for more advanced traders because you are still trading against this trend right here. And I would still prefer to be selling rather than to be buying. Okay, but I cannot deny that this is a very strong level. this 1719 is a very strong level which price doesn't seem to be able to break. So if you do something like this, maybe something like this, the risk to reward still makes sense. So if you are more experienced, you might try a trade something like this. Now, the other level worth mentioning is this level down here, 1700, which you can see is actually the spike low of this candle here, right? And it's the psychological level of 1700. So, of course, this is a very strong level. You want to watch this level as well. Now, towards the upside, how did I get this level? Let me just clear this one so it's clearer for you. It's actually just over here. You can see that it was supported. Okay, if you switch to the line chart, you can see that this is the level that price was rejecting as support previously. So this is a very strong level. Ideally, I would prefer to sell here. But if you are more aggressive and you are more experienced, you can consider buying. So let's move into Euro Pound. I don't really like to talk about Euro Pound much because right now price is just at support. Okay, resistance was over here. I believe last week or something we took some trades and I can't recall if it resulted in a loss or not. But this right now is pretty difficult to trade. But the reason why I'm talking about Euro Pound is because there is a clear downtrend. Okay, and if this level is broken, there is some space to the bottom, and that's the only reason why I'm talking about a Euro Pound. So you can see that the next level is over here. Let me show you. It's this low over here. Okay, this is the next key level. So there is actually quite some space between 8539 and 8469. It's about 70 pips. 70 pips in movement, or rather 70 pips in space, potential profit that you could make. So if you want to trade this, just wait for price to break. Okay, wait for it to retest. Okay, retest and look for a candlestick pattern, right? Because remember, we are using the MP trading strategy. So market condition is bearish, price level is this level, and then we need a trigger and just short it down. Okay, but just be careful. Do not take the trade if the candlestick confirmation comes at like this kind of prices, and then end up your stop loss is like this, and your take profit becomes really little, and you get a very pathetic risk to reward. Okay, so just be very careful if you are trading this Euro Pound. Just watch your risk to reward. Try to get in with a small stop loss, and then target your take profit here. Now let's talk about the last currency pair, which is Pound Yen. Pound Yen, last week I talked about the 150 as a key level, and rather this entire zone as a key level. Okay, so 150 didn't hold as support, even though I expected it to fall. It actually dipped down below, deeper, made a deeper retracement, and now it's back up. Okay, so this level is proven to be strong. Okay, but right now price is in the middle of nowhere. So if you chase the market and you do something like this, put your stop loss here and put your take profit here, again, your risk to reward is going to be very bad. So I don't recommend this. Okay, what I recommend is that price drops down. Remember, we have an engulfing pattern here. So if price can drop down back here and have a form of a candlestick pattern, like another engulfing pattern, and then I'll take the trade and buy it up. Okay, so this is how I would trade. I will not sell this currency pair at all, because the long-term trend is up. You have a high, you have a low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So it doesn't make sense for me to be selling. Okay, and if you stick strictly to the MP trading strategy, you should be buying, not selling. Okay, just take note of these key levels, right? Just wait. Right now, there's no setup. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you got a ton of value, right? If you need to rewatch this video to take note of the key levels and buyers, please do that. Okay, because this week is probably going to be another difficult week with NFP. So it's very important that you prepare properly if you want to trade on your own. Okay, if you do not want to do all this, then just go to our Telegram channel and follow our signals. Okay, if you are a YouTube subscriber and you have not joined our Telegram channel, which is free, please check the link in the description as well, because we do provide you with signals, right? Free signals for you to start making money while you are learning how to trade. Okay, as always, I'll leave the link to this 3-day trading guide in the description down below as well, so that you can download it. Okay, it's totally free. There's no catch. You can see over here that you do not need to input your credit card details. Okay, we just send it to you via email. If not, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you have.